What's up, Atlassian community enthusiasts and any amazing users out there? Welcome back to another Atlassian Mojo. Get your mojo on. Today I'm going to cover JSM, Jira Service Management Help Center. So what can it do? How can we formulate it? What can we change? How can we rearrange? There's been some great new things here, and it's becoming better and better. So first we're going to start off with options. So as you click on your profile, you can get to your request, your approvals, and now you can embed the virtual agent into the help center, which would sit in the search bar. And we have multiple help centers. So what's a help center? So right now this is the main help center, but we're going to go into view all help centers. And this is where we can create new help centers. Why would we create a new help center? What's the ideology around these help centers? So one of the things that we can do is separate use for different customer base. So that's what we've been using it for at Centify and helping some of our clients. So you might have a help center that's a landing page for all projects, and that could be where we're landing all of our internal customers from that domain that they all work for the business, and we want people to be able to get there and get to HR and facilities and etc. So but we don't need our external customers landing in that area. So what we could do is we could create a help center we'll call it customer support services, and we'll just call it support here. Well, actually, let's do it customer support and create. So you notice there was a slug there. The cool thing about that slug is that we can give that URL to our customers. So now we can come in here and we can say, well, what actual projects do we want to link to this center? So we could link, let's say we can link everything or unlink everything except for customer support, because we only need customer support to be there. So at this help center, we now have customer support. This is the slug here. So we can give them the URL for the landing, and that would include the slug. So can save that. And then this is where we can turn on the virtual agent and set up some of that stuff. So going back to the help center, we're going to look at what can we do with this help center. So we want to go there to help centers, go to our customer support help center. You'll notice that they look different when you only have one project linked to them. It will give you the search, and it will also give you the different things that you can come in and ask help for. So these are the request types bound to that project. And so we can focus them in on that and still give them Confluence and self-help. And on top of that, you could embed the virtual agent here so that can talk to that agent and get the data that they need or the requests created or go down those intent paths. From there, we have customize. So what can we do with our different help centers? We can customize the look and feel of them so that it's really driven to that customer base. So if we wanted to change out the name customer support services up here for a logo, we could go into customize and feel. We could put that logo there, whatever that logo is, and then give it a banner that goes along with that customer support or legal support or whatever it is that we're giving. So changing the colors, the text. There are some other options that are coming here too, from what I've seen, for the different colors and basis there. We can give the homepage a welcome note, go back into customize. We can add in log page message, and then we can also manage our topics in the portals. So when we go into manage the topics and portals, this is where you can hide portals from the view if you add in more than one, so that but they're not there. But we can also add topics. If we create a topics, what can we put there? We can add knowledge base articles, request forms, external. If you have external resources set up in your project settings for JSM, you could add them at this point. So maybe you have like another wiki or another system that you manage that is like a client's system area that they need to get back to quick or something like that, you could link that data there as forms, to highlight those. So that's how we can kind of formulate some of those hot topics and things that we want customers to see right away. So if I'm like, the technical support one is something that I want to see there right away and maybe report a potential bug, we could set that up so that this is there, and we could just say, like, we'll just call this most used requests. So we'll call that topic, and we'll publish that layout. So now when we come into our portal, we can see the most requested things, and they'll be right at the top in your face. So I've seen lots of teams use this for different things, lots of external communications from that point. Assets is another thing, is like using forms that are really working with assets and doing some like extravagant things in the background for like onboarding and offboarding purposes. You could have like or something like that you need them to go through some kind of specific workflow, and that like creates them in the CMDB or something like that. We could highlight that there or use that as like the onboarding topic, right? So from there, we have again our search, and we can edit the layout of the page now. This is something that has been super exciting. So we can omit like this page, or we can move this page up or down. So we could just grab that and move that one up, making that more visible at the top, having the announcements there. We could move this around or omit it, so you can remove something. So like if you don't want them to see like last used request, then you can hide that. So there's some things there. You can hide some of those details around there. You can preview what it's going to look like, and you like it, you can publish it. So now that's the new preview of our what our new help center looks like. That kind of covers most of this stuff here. And another thing that I like to point out to people using JSM is approvals. Getting your customer, if they're part of the approval process, to know where that is very important, and keep them going. And depending on how the project's set up, like, do they need to log in to make that approval? Is the approval in an email? Do they want them to log into the portal to approve it? How do we want them to be part of the process, and making sure that they know where that is? So having that available at the help center is really, really good, and it helps streamline things. Yeah, creating new help centers. So this is kind of JSM Help Centers 101. Again, just want to cover like, why would we create a new help center versus everything being in one place? Typically, it's a good way to split up your projects. Let's say we have our internal projects could be restricted, and we are dictating who is a part of that. So we have groups from our IDP that are pushing our internal customers there, and we could have our customer one where we're leaving that as an open project because we need it public for them to hit. And so that would be one use case, to keep it open, keeping the internal locked, and then making sure people can get there and self-sign up and get the help that they need, because you have a broad range of customers. And it could be another way, like you could have restricted the customer one and adding them and not letting them self-sign up, and keeping the internal one open or something, or keeping them both restricted. So many different things. Atlassian is very flexible, so we have to find out what works best for our teams, and then put the governance behind that, and work together to make it happen. So that is JSM Help Centers.